We are on Facebook. What are we on? YouTube, Twitch, Mixcloud. We are nailing them all today. So welcome out to the Hit Squad podcast studio. To my right, this is Cryptic. How you been?
Pretty good.
Good, man.
How are you doing?
Oh, fantastic. It is a new year, and we got a lot of things to discuss of like kind of how our 2020 went and kind of maybe our plans towards the future. Walking into this actual room because he had to go hit the buttons on the actual
on the streaming,
on the brain.
On the brain of this machine.
On the brain of our operation, which is now a PC, and Clint is super proud of it.
Fuck. You know what, though? It is what it is. I've said it 1,000 times. We all know I'm an Apple lover. But you know what? PCs just work what we need to make this happen for you guys. So I had to sell an iMac and buy a PC. It is what it is.
Yeah, it happened. I had to go the other way for DJing. That's kind of how it worked for me too. I was PC strong for a lot of years, and then had to make that switch over as well.
Raintree, good to see you in the chat, buddy.
Where's he? Oh, he must be watching it.
Thanks.
Twitch.
Thanks for joining us, buddy. Yeah, he's over there on Twitch land.
I'm over on Facebook. So
you're on Facebook. So yeah, we're on Twitch as Facebook, YouTube, and Mixcloud Live tonight, boys.
You can find them all on Hit Squad DJ. So if you need to share that to your friends, please do. Also, One Stop DJ Shop is always our sponsor. It's always our choice in DJ equipment shop is One Stop DJ Shop, and it should be yours too. So log on to their website at some point and get yourself some gear, get yourself stickers, CV, vinyl, whatever. They got it. Just check them out.
Raintrees, did you cry a little, Clint? Yes, I did cry a little bit to see an iMac disappear from the studio. You know what, though? It is what it is. We had to sell it to get the Windows machine to do this every Tuesday night. Well, whenever we stream, it's for everybody. LZ, what's up? What's up, buddy? JV, how you doing? Man, how you guys doing tonight? We got a lot of followers over here on Twitch right now. Appreciate the love, you guys.
Well, and the reasoning for that, if you guys are watching on another format or on another platform, every Tuesday is twitch.tv/HitSquadDJs, and we've been doing this pretty much from the beginning of the pandemic, and going to continue it as long as we can, actually.
Yeah, you know, and that's why we picked Tuesdays. Nathan and I really thought about this before we started this. We wanted to continue this even after, say, the venues opened us for us to go back to work. So Tuesdays work. Nobody really had a job. So...
And Cryptic's been with us this whole time, man. How's it been for you?
Fun. I enjoy it. Gets me out of the closet. I mean,
I thought you had a family and everything.
Yeah. You know, this is the one night a week they let me get out.
It's always great to have you along for the ride. So, yeah, speaking of what's going on in the show, again, it is our January edition, so I don't think you can really avoid talking about the new year and what's going to be happening, the things. We got some random topics about maybe some resolutions, some plans, and things we'd like to see in 2021, things that we did experience in 2020, and that's where we plan on going with it. I know, but, you know, before we hit all that, we did get some breaking news in recently. Actually, it just happened last little bit, and it's a very unfortunate thing because it affects all of us in our industry and anyone that's ever felt in love with hip hop. Yeah, did you hadn't even heard about this yet?
I didn't even hear about this.
Yes.
That sucks.
So I'm on people.com, which is People Magazine, because we saw it on our social media and then it got posted. But this is a very unfortunate thing, but it isn't as bad as it seems so far, I guess. Dr. Dre is in intensive care unit after suffering a brain aneurysm. He's 55 years old, but we do have an update, or there is an update in people.com that actually says LL Cool J shared an update on Dre's status saying Dre is recovering nicely. So much love and concern to Dr. Dre because he's responsible for all sorts
so
of
many. I mean, but it's just like, I think today's music would not be the same without him around. Just the influence he has on everybody that's doing producing. I know for one thing, Eminem wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Dre. If it wasn't for Eminem, there would be no 50 Cents. You know what I'm saying? Without Dre, there'd be no Snoop. I mean, the list goes on in that era of music. I mean, and those are just a handful that I can touch on just off the top of my head without going further down the line of who he's responsible for and bringing into the industry. So,
yeah, Cryptic, do you think who do you feel is kind of one of his biggest upbringers, I guess, or people that he brought into the hip hop scene?
Oh wow, there's a lot actually. I mean, some that I like that aren't even doing anything right now. So, but I would say my top Eminem's. Yeah, everybody could say Eminem's there. I'm a big fan of the game, and I liked his first album.
but we can get to the game. But wasn't the game under 50 cents though?
It was Shady Aftermath.
But if we were playing Degrees Away from Bacon, or Degrees Away from Dr. Dre, he's still responsible for him.
He is.
Yeah. There's
So Deli, Tony, Tone Love, Las Vegas, DJ Tony Love, Real Icon, yes. Good seeing you guys. Raintree still in the house. Estival, DJ Woody's here with us. LZ805's with us. I'm just going down the list of people that are joining us finally. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. DJ Deli is here. Nathan is manning the Facebook comments over there.
Yeah, and I think when I actually comment, it comes up as Nathan Cresswell and not his squad. But
it does.
That becomes more personal for your use. And
yes.
You're welcome for that.
Deli saying Snoop Dogg and Eminem. We've already been over that. Yes, those are two main keys from Dr. Dre.
Yeah, I'd like to think who mine would be out of that too. That's crazy to think, but I mean, like what you brought up, I think we should invent that game, dude. Degrees Away from Dre, instead of like we got to replace the Bacon game because the kids don't understand it, but they probably might not understand this one either. But
yeah, how far down the line? But he's like the pyramid scheme, kind of. You know, Dre sits at the top, and how far does the pyramid get? I don't know.
Like, can we track the baby clear back to Dre? Like maybe
a beat or two, but I don't know.
I don't know if he is influenced.
Yeah,
maybe he went to lunch with his fourth cousin or something.
Gotcha.
But yeah, unfortunately, he had that brain aneurysm. It looks like he's recovering nicely. Anyways, prayers and hopes going out to the master, man.
For sure.
So
big deal.
With 2020 passing, man, what do you guys feel has been kind of something we've learned, I guess, from 2020?
Seriously?
I feel the same. I feel the same.
You see the shit we're sitting in front of, right?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
This is like the number one thing that we've had to figure out to maintain to stay in front of people is what we're doing right now. And I think that goes for 80% of the DJs online had to figure this stuff out if they weren't gamers already.
Yeah. Well, hell, like artists and movie stars, I mean, everyone in general, they're all going to their social media and trying to stay connected with their fans because nothing's going on. Most of them can't do movies. I mean, they're like everything's on hold.
You know,
so yeah.
I mean, so I think
sucks.
It does suck, severely suck for everybody in the entertainment world. And it's not just us that are fucked by having the bars and clubs closed. I mean, it's a trickle down effect, dude. I was talking to the wife about this the other day, but it's like the dude that delivers the beer. You know what I'm saying? Those companies are here. The ice companies, the cleaning companies, everything to do with a restaurant or bar industry is suffering. And nobody really talks about that. They just talk about the restaurant and the bars. They don't think about the trickle down to the little guys, you know, and that's us, the little guys. So, Woody still's like, Dre put out some Suge to some degree. Suge Knight is who he's talking about.
And Suge put out Vanilla Ice over the balcony. Oh, sorry. So
not to be confused with Suge, DJ Sugar.
Yeah.
No, Suge Knight.
Yeah, gotcha. So Raintree's like, I just piggyback off you guys. I have not streamed, just visited you guys in week 1. This is true, Raintree. You're welcome back anytime, man. That's for sure. I say this week in and week out. I'm done reaching out to guys to come stream because I'm not going to lie. I forget on who's like I've talked to, who I haven't talked to. So if you guys want to come to the studio and stream with us, reach out to me. I'll put you on the schedule.
You guys can hit me up too.
Hit Nathan up. I know right now, next week, we have Frequency. and that's it. And then probably sugar. Well, I mean, we usually fill the night by the night is there. And then 2 weeks from now, we got DJ Linus is coming back. Physicality's coming back. You know, so people are trickling in. We're still trying to get Jared out here. We're trying to get, you know, Manny, I think, is coming out next Tuesday. So
yeah,
if you guys want to come to the studio, reach out to myself or Nate. It's always open. So
yeah, and I feel so 2020, the things, I think the biggest things we have learned is, and the thing I'm actually the most proud of is probably what we've done here and provided a little bit of something for Portland. And equipment, and I mean, my video skills have came like 500% before this year.
So
and I think the streaming platform has been interesting. I do wish that I think if I had one thing I wish I could still nail was to figure out how to actually social media market a lot better, because I think that's more so than anything. We're really good at the organic. But
we are,
as like paid and doing any of that, we don't have the budget for it. But
exactly,
that would be the thing I would like to gain out of it. But yeah, I mean, that's been really cool. I think I've learned a lot about this equipment, the production of this, and I think we've created something better than most people do.
Yes, you know, we have created quite the atmosphere, I should say, for DJs here in the Portland scene to join us in either podcasting like we're doing now with Steve. He's joining us here. People have seen him DJ. He hasn't really been in the podcast studio, so I'm really excited to get his take on that. But I do want to take one big shout out here. Much respect and speedy recovery to DJ Audio One out of the Bay Area. He had a stroke last week during his stream. I hope he recovers really well. A lot of guys have his tracks in your library. If you don't, you're sleeping on Audio One. Super chill guy, really nice guy. I just hope he recovers well for us. So, anyway.
You've met Audio One personally?
I have. NAM a couple times. Yes. NAM would be happening actually next week if it was actually really happening. So we're going to Southwest NAM. So,
and so NAM is, what's that stand for?
Oh man, North American Music Merchants of, I don't know, something like that.
It's basically the music industry retail show.
It is the biggest.
Pretty much
It's the world's largest music industry trade show. It happens every January in Anaheim, California, and then there's a summer NAM, which is okay. It's not the best, but if you're in the industry, NAM is one thing that you need to get to if you can. It used to be invite only, but it seems like it's a free for all anymore. I don't know. It seems kind of weird. This year would have been my 7th year going to NAM. Yeah. So
anything has to do with music.
It's
musician. If you're a badass flute player,
it's there.
Go there. I'm sure there's some sort of booth that's selling flutes. Harmonicas, maybe. I don't know.
There's a whole section of wind instruments.
Yeah.
It gets very loud on that floor, man. Like, you think DJs are loud? Damn, dude, you get by the drum section.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
Insane. Don't mind the flicker.
And there's always demos going on. So yeah, I could just imagine.
Yeah,
and then, then you want the Chinese stuff, you go downstairs in the basement, but it's growing into like the arena now. And since they've added 2 new halls at NAMM since I started going, and it's just totally changed the whole flow of stuff. And it works better. I think it works better with the new halls. If the guys have been there pre-new halls versus post-new halls, I think the new layout works better. Just my opinion. They've centralized stuff. So now, like for us DJs, the DJ stuff was all spread out. Now it's all in one little section, which is kind of cool but boring at the same time. We just sit there and walk in circles unless you want to go look at pro audio. It's in a different hall. So it's just like the DJs in us.
I met Billy Idol.
He did see Billy Idol. Yeah.
I took the picture.
I've yet to go to this thing. So, hey, anybody out there listening, if you want to gift me a plane ticket we'll
get you to this year's, bro. This year's.
To go.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. That's not happening. 2020 was alive, though, right? Like last January.
I was there. Yeah, I think that's already had COVID from there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think that's just my opinion.
Yeah, most of the whole exco got sick last year.
We're calling it Namthrax. If you guys were there, it's known as Namthrax. We all had it. We were all sick as dogs. There was 8 of us in our hotel. We were all sick, along with everybody else that I know that went. Yeah. Anyway,
that's
so
where it started.
Think about it. It was January. It came from China. Over half the people from there are from China. Anyway, long story. I'm not going to get into it again. We don't need to go there. But Cryptic, seriously, if you want to go to NAMM, I can get you passes. Alpha Systems has, I think, 8 or 10 passes or something to NAMM. So
Hell yeah.
So I got a $100 voucher for Southwest. There you go. See? See, Tony was there and he was sick as hell too. See, I mean, everyone else got it. Yeah. See, I mean, people are going to chip in here. And I mean, so Billy Idol was cool to see. I mean, he looked really fucking haggard and old on that stage. I'm not going to lie. I think it was acoustic. He was playing at the acoustic phone booth or something like that.
Yeah. It was on the music floor.
But it was like the acoustical foam, you know? I mean, the shit we got strapped to the wall here, but yeah, so.
So also, I still want to discuss the 2020. So that's something we've lost. What else have we lost in this last year? I mean, every single festival you can possibly name, right?
Lots of rappers.
Lots of rappers.
Yeah.
MF Doom, rest in peace.
Every major event was pretty much lost this year.
Yeah.
I don't care what it was postponed, declined, whatever, because I know DJ Expo was gone, Photo Booth Expo, Wedding Expo. I mean, anything to do with expos where large gatherings of people were happening was gone. We didn't even have Buckaroo here in Malala because of COVID, which is our biggest week for Malala.
Yeah, we didn't have the rodeos out here.
Yeah, there was no rodeos anywhere in Oregon, probably across the U.S., dude. So the parking lot pimping got everyone sick. Tony, I think we were all sick before then, buddy. Chadwick Boseman we lost. Yeah, you know, so JV's like anything after February, that's probably pretty close. I know Oregon shut down March 17th because that was my last gig, which was St. Patty's Day. So that was my last bar gig. So
yeah, it was gonna be like my first. No, just kidding. That was gonna be my first at Dave & Buster's.
That was gonna be your first night at Dave & Buster's.
Dave & Buster's, we just shook it. Or actually, almost signed that contract.
That would have been Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 nights at Dave & Buster's for us to DJ there, man. Yeah. It was gonna look pretty awesome.
That was gonna be better.
Dave & Buster's where?
Clackamas
Town Center, really?
Yeah, they were starting the program there where we could DJ.
I've been on that. Wow. I've been at Dave & Buster's trying to get in there for over 2 years, and it finally my persistence finally paid off, or I got to the right people.
Are they like every other restaurant franchise zone?
Yes, they are. No, okay. They're not. No, they're not. They're not franchise zone.
They're corporate.
They're corporate.
So you could have gotten into the one.
I could have gotten San Francisco, wherever a Dave & Buster's is at, who had DJs playing. Yeah, because they were actually starting to blossom this out. And big shout out to Mighty Mike out of San Francisco. He's the actual one that hooked me up with the guy that was in charge of all this. But it was persistence here at the local events, and then they got me in contact. And then Mighty Mike, who we've shared gigs with here and there, actually had the contact. So yeah, it is what it is. And then, you know, we've lost.
The local venues just go on.
Yeah. I mean, but as far as our franchise stuff that we had was, you know, Dave & Buster's and then Top Golf. Everybody knows about Top Golf we had. And then we were going to go after Bullwinkle's. We were just going after the corporate market that, cause we had a resume to back it up. You know, so
I think we still have a lot of the neighborhood bars are still have their doors and haven't sold them yet. But the majority downtown, we're only down to about 3 left.
If that, dude. Dixie, I think, is going to be the only one left. I heard Dirty's going to reopen maybe under something else. I know it's a coffee shop right now, or trying to open as a coffee shop. I just heard Shake was probably going to close. The new owners can't handle, or they're trying to do daytime sales or food sales or something. I don't think it's going to make it under the new owners. Yeah, you know, so it's a shame what's happening downtown Portland, that's for sure. So, Valentine's closed on Ankeny Alley.
Oh, yeah, they finally closed too.
Last week, I heard.
Yep, so. Tony and LV is like, I tried Dave & B's here in Vegas for 2 years and it was told it will never happen here. Please stop. Tony, I was told the same thing, actually. It's funny you bring that up, but, you know, you look at every other Dave & Buster's up and down the West Coast. They all had DJs in them. It was just a matter of market placement and market timing. Is actually what I was told by the director who was running that whole program. The guy was out of San Francisco who was running the program for all the Dave & Buster's. So just FYI, Tony.
Yeah, we all got told that at one point. Yeah. I hit them up when they first opened too, and they're like, "We're never doing that."
Yeah, exactly.
And then all of a sudden, you know,
Just stay persistent, I
ago.
guess, is the main key if you guys want to get in somewhere. Steve can talk about that. He's held monthlies for quite a while since I've known him for the last 12 years, 13 years. Persistency pays off to get gigs.
Yes. And you would be amazed at how often those venues change their plans.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been to so many where it was the same owner and they hated DJs and they were only doing live music, and then I didn't check in for a year or two, and then I roll back through there, and sure enough, they've had a DJ in there for the last 6 to 8 months, and it's like, really? So, and it's constantly changing. So, yes, you definitely have to go in, bug the hell out of them, and
but not annoyingly bugging.
well,
them.
no, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Stay on it. Don't let it go a year or two like I did. And
if you really want to play
check
somewhere,
on it more
consistency.
often. Yep.
So
So
For sure.
I think another thing, and I don't know if you guys are down to talk about this, but
guns and politics?
no,
I don't know about that, but no. That's just a rabbit hole for everybody.
But
That's a rabbit hole.
no, I was just thinking, a lot of us, some of us have slacked. I'll admit on like keeping up on things that came out during this last year. But I was just Googling the first thing, like the songs of 2020. And like one of the first ones is like Savage.
Blinding Lights.
Yeah. That's that thing, Blinding Lights by The Weeknd has been like number one on billboards this entire time, or not number one.
Seriously?
But top 5.
Seriously.
What?
I was joking around about that. Is it still on top
Yeah, it's
billboards?
in the top 3, dude.
Holy shit.
Right
see?
now.
I
It's
was
number
just-
3.
I was just bullshit.
Yeah, no, that song has
Who's
not
the
fell
Weeknd?
off.
I'm just kidding.
And then, I feel there was kind of like this thing, like we're getting the normal club hits and stuff, everything before COVID, and then everything closed. We only got these like smart ass political things that came out, and hopefully we'll never have to play those in our career once it comes back. But
I'm going to skip this whole 9 months of music because nothing really came out don't get me wrong. There's some hip hop that have come out that I've really dug. There's some new dance stuff that's come out that I've really dug. But nothing mainstream that I think is really viable for the nightclubs or bars. That's just my opinion.
I know this "What's Poppin'" by Jack Harlow. They're still banging that, but that came out like right at the beginning of this too, with the baby.
Oh yeah.
And
so,
but I mean, as far as like major dance hits or anything, nothing. And I mean, Miley Cyrus was doing weird stuff this year.
Cyrus's stuff right now to me is really good. So if you guys don't like Miley Cyrus, check out some of her new stuff. She's remade a lot of the old stuff new. It's just my opinion. Steve's over here shaking his fucking head now. I can't handle it.
He's like, I can't get down with that cover.
I can't get down with the Miley.
I mean, if Sean was here, he'd already be dancing, if we had Deli in the house. But
Deli loves playing her. It just, I don't know what it is, man. See, Megan Thee Stallion worked for me this weekend. Speaking of Deli, he just came back from Tampa, Florida. He got flown out there by, I'm not going to name names, but good props to Deli getting out there, playing for 3 nights over New Year's Eve. JV's like, she got 3 things out right now. Probably talking about Miley. Yes. I mean, seriously, just jump in Miley Cyrus on Spotify or wherever you, Apple Podcasts, Apple, whatever.
she did some great 90s covers, though.
Phenomenal covers.
job.
Yes, phenomenal covers. And just original style, too. Kygo, however you say that chick's name. She has some stuff out right now that's really good that I like. So I don't know.
Okay, so let's go through and say worst and best. You think of 2020, just one in each category. I'll go first. So I think the worst that came out was like Cardi's "Coronavirus." That song. God,
I don't even know that. See,
you don't remember? She dropped it when all this stuff hit, and it was just her. Like you could barely understand what she said. She was just like screaming.
See, I don't know.
And
understand anything she says.
Yeah, half the time you can't. Anyways, and then obviously she did drop WAP, and that blew up. And I can't really support it completely, but I'm gonna have to play it someday, I assume. And then, but my favorite is the stuff that I think Gaga. Her album came out during this, and that was cool because hers is always kind of like she went back to like kind of her dance sound.
She did.
And Gaga turns everything to gold. That's just kind of what she does with her hits and with her style. And so I think that Rain With Me and the team up with Ariana Grande, that's definitely probably my favorite of 2020. Steve? Cryptic?
You know, because I don't listen to the radio much, I couldn't tell you.
You can give us the lowdown on the street, bro.
Yeah.
No? What's popping in the underground world?
So underground. Oh, let's see here.
Yeah.
Probably Gangstar's album.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Gangstar, so
gotcha.
that was released around that time. So
I mean, like for me, everybody knows that I'm into remix. Anything by Joe Corey this year has been really hot. He's remixed a ton of stuff. He's probably one of my favorite remixers right now for stuff. I just pulled out, I'm not going to lie, I opened my Spotify playlist here because I travel. I'm actually doing a job in Hood River right now, so it's 3 hours of my day is driving. Fucking sucks. I'm not going to lie, it fucking sucks. So I listen to a lot of new stuff, but it's all remix stuff. Diamonds by Sam Smith, I think, is a dope song right now, but it's remixed by Joe Corey. Hello, Hello. Remy Wolf, if you guys know, this is really dancey, typey, dance pop stuff. I think they're my tops for right now. Worst song 2020? I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
Probably anything that came off of TikTok, like
Any mumble
room.
That fucking mumble rap shit, dude. I've always hated it. But Deli's like, I love that shit. So
And what about
so we're talking about Steve Urkel and Deli. I mean, they look identical these days. So who knows? So
there's a lot of good remixes and edits out. You just gotta hunt for them.
You do have to dig for them.
I follow a lot of guys on Bandcamp. And on email lists and stuff, guys that do all kinds of funk, disco edits to hip hop. I mean, you name it. I could start naming off tons of DJs and producers out there that are doing edits and stuff that are great.
Is that because you think of the pandemic, though? The DJs and editors and producers stepped up the game because they had nothing else to do except just work on music? I mean, so it's just one of those things that happens that comes with this. It's worked out for everybody involved, I guess. Brandy's like, there's too many. Replaying Brandy, Henderly, bad songs. Is that on your, Spotify list, Brandy? I don't know. That's coming from Facebook world. Not a mumble rap fan. Bay Area only. Don't lie to me, Deli. You're such a mumble rapper. It's not even funny. You can't go anywhere. Oh, wait. Slam cut, slam cut, slam cut. It is what it is. Props to Deli for going to Tampa to DJ, though. Love, so I can't hate on you so much, dude. All love to Deli. He is part of the hit squad, though. That's why I can give him so much shit. So there you go.
I just wanted to do that. I wondered how long it would take you guys to actually say anything.
I know.
But, I was going to say something.
So
but I forgot what it is.
So that was your update in the underground by Cryptic, and in your remix world, Clinton had you covered on that one. All right, so we got the future coming up. But what do you guys see? Actually, I heard Ryan Seacrest discuss this in a break today on whatever we have now that's owned by iHeartRadio, Z100, right?
Z100 in Portland, yes.
And he's on during the day.
Yeah.
They asked the question, when do you actually think this returns to normal? And I guess you could define normal, but I think like being able to go to the restaurant, the club's full on, people are in dancing.
I was optimistic for Halloween, then I was optimistic for New Year's Eve. I'm going to be real. It's not going to be until June or July.
June or
July.
Oh, you mean of our past Halloween? Yes, absolutely. So, at least that,
which totally fucking sucks. So,
yeah, and they were actually. What about you, Cryptic?
I don't know. To be honest, and sad to say, I think it's going to be much longer. The way they're rolling out the antivirus, all the shots, I'm thinking like fall, like September, October.
We cannot physically.
I'm not saying that everything will be
still
shut
closed
down and closed, but it'll be a slow rollout. I'm guessing that you're going to be out and about and people are still going to be wearing masks full time while they're out. You'll probably still have restaurants and bars doing the social distance thing or only allowing so many people in until everybody's completely vaccinated.
Or people get tired of it.
And the bug is almost squashed and there's no reports.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a while.
So Deli's like, it's not going to be till 2022. That would be miserable for people, dude. JV's like, people who are eligible are refusing it. Her husband had to toss 30 doses on Saturday because people would not take the shot.
Oh,
That's
damn.
insane.
That's crazy.
But I guess some of the questions that are popping up with this vaccine, though, not to go down this rabbit hole, is like, if you're in contact with anybody with COVID that like automatically rejects you, what are all these frontline workers doing that are in the hospitals? Like, they can't get it if they've come in contact then, right? I mean, it's my aspect and my reading and my knowledge that goes in my pea brain here. But, so it's like, what's the point of these vaccines if the frontline workers can't take it because they've come in contact with somebody with COVID? So just my opinion. And did you hear our crazy governor, Kate Brown, here? I'm going to go on a rabbit hole here.
Oh, yeah, we could let him go for a while. That's going to be cool. So I got to figure out how to open
Put
this.
some music on in my head.
So said she's going to cut down the vaccine to one dose only to spread our vaccines out in Oregon. So, she's going to allow one dose only per person to spread out what our allotment that we got. But doesn't it take both to be 95% or 90% effective other than the 50% if you just get one? It just doesn't make sense to me. But that's how dumb our governor is. So, my opinion. There we go. There we go.
Oh, he's done. All right, cool. I stopped listening. I mean, I hear that on the FM 101 and the KXLs and all the other stuff all day. But no, man, I absolutely what they ended up answering on them, and I can't complete. I'm actually more going towards cryptic. Now that I've heard them talk and I've heard other people talk and the way the news is going, I unfortunately think we are not going to see it in the summer. I don't think, not to 100% normal. I think we're all going to, migrate towards that way or kind of morph into that direction. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they were saying they're making predictions like into December in 2022, which that's what Deli was saying. And I'm starting to become that naysayer now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm trying to figure out how to reinvent myself because I don't think we're going to be getting paid a lot this year, especially out here in the Northwest and up against this coast.
I don't know if I can handle another year of this. That's just me, dude. Yeah. I'm really struggling. I'm not going to lie. I sit here and lie to everybody. Me not playing out every Friday, Saturday night is starting to take its toll. I'm not going to lie. My skills have gone downhill because I don't do it as much. Music selection, all the above, dude. If you don't do it, you lose it. It's a for sure thing. It's true, for sure. JV's like, yeah, the experts are actually suggesting doing that, giving one dose to get it out to most people. I don't know. That's just crazy to me. Just create more vaccines.
I heard some weird report too that they actually were putting too much in the distribution, so they would have some left over in the little vial, and like a lot of it was being thrown away because the first shipments or whatever they put too much CCs or whatever in the actual containers. So yeah. Anyways, I heard that on one of those talk news places as well.
Gotcha.
So I guess what are things do we expect to try to work on in 2021 as maybe a family, as a group, and personally? Cryptic, what you got going?
Less drinking. No. Yeah, I don't know. I always try to be the best human I can be in everything I do. Like, you hear about all these people that are just angry. They get pissed at anything and everything. They want to blame like other people for their problems instead of taking accountability, that kind of thing. Like, I just try to avoid and steer clear of that, like, negative shit. So I am going to push for being even better at that in 2021. And maybe even playing out more, DJing more, practicing more, perfecting my craft more. Maybe producing some beats.
We've had a lot of time off, and you just finally went back to work. So what did you do with all that time off besides the honeydews that she left you, the laundry list long?
Well, the house is that much closer to selling, so in
nice.
a couple of years we'll probably sell it and buy a new house. Hopefully, find something that I own outright and not,
It's funny you
have a mortgage payment on.
It's funny you bring that up. The wife and I just missed buying another piece of property this weekend. We were got to our realtor an hour or so too long before it had an offer on it, and they accepted the offer. So I was kind of bummed about that. So, but we are currently looking for anything from 2 to 10 acres within 15 miles of our current place, So, just bare land, no house on it, So that's our next move for us, So
We did refinance.
Did you refinance finally? Nice.
Yeah, 2.25 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, it's really low.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
So we're stoked.
And
Even though we're gonna sell in a couple of years. But
Dude, on a 15 or a 30?
That's a good question. I think it's a 30.
Gotcha. You've been in your place a long time though, so it was worth it. And rates are great right now. Yes, JB, they are great. That's why the wife and I are currently looking for another piece of property. Bare land though, our next house will be built by myself. That will be the forever home. So just so people know. And this will all be part of my house next time.
This comes complete with broadcast studio.
Yes, it will. And DJ booth. It's just what I do. Everybody knows that around here. It's just, I like to provide. I like to have people come over and hang out. And people enjoy it. That's the way I look at it. Deli's he's going to drink more tequila in 2022 or 2021. How much more tequila can you drink, Deli? I mean, how much can you consume to say you're going to drink more? I just don't understand it, dude. You're a fish, and a tiny fish at that. You're like Nemo.
Yeah, you can just take that stuff down, man. I don't know. I think for me, I want to just continue doing things I enjoy. Again, I think some of this stress and fear has slowed that a little bit for me. I didn't buy a season ski pass this year because it was unpredictable and income, everything else. It's not just the pass. It's every trip up to the mountain, you got to count as taken out of your income as well, which has been a habit. And I've had season passes since I was 30 years of my life. I've always done that. So yeah, next year, I don't think I'm going to allow that to happen. I'm going to plan that out no matter where I live, wherever I'm at. I'm going to make sure I'm still up in the snow and I'm still doing what I enjoy there. Kayaking, I did accomplish quite a few things with that. But again, I slowed that way down when the winter hit. And I do get out in the winter. People are like, oh, you kayaking in the water? Yeah, I do. I have dry suits. I have there's gear for that. Okay. So I don't go as crazy as some.
So why aren't you kayaking now, dude?
Say what?
Why don't you get on the water now?
Right now we have so much water in there. I mean, believe me, people have hit me up, but I'm scared. It's
get in your inflatable and you'll stay on top.
I could go back to my inflatable, but
instead of your hard
shell. It's I mean, we are up. I just went to Seaside. I saw Detroit for a second. Went out with my friend bowling, and man, the roads are covered with water once you start coming into the town. The RV lot in the beginning was swimming. And they had to pull there's so much water out here right now.
Yes, there is.
And the rivers are just full. They are going up over roads there. I mean, the one behind my lot where I'm renting at is it is at 20, so it's at 2400 CFS. Typically in the summertime it gets down to 300. So there's the perspective for you. And and you can walk across it though when it's 300 or 200 sort of, but right now it's almost up to, so the gate comes up at a hill. It's halfway up to the gate now, and that's the lower end of the Malala that goes through Canby. Yeah, it's crazy how much water is out here. But
perfect time to go practice your rolls.
Well, I'd like to see you do
I can't roll, but that thing's
I'd like to see you do the Red Bull Extreme and go off the Oregon City Falls.
Ooh,
he knows somebody that's gone off the Oregon City Falls.
I actually helped one of my buddies go and do that. We did a whole mission, man. He calls me up. He's like, hey, man, I want to go off these waterfalls. He's like, talked about we got to get there, like, because the sun's coming up, so I don't get busted, blah, blah, blah. So, all right. We met up at, like, this McDonald's at this one time in the parking lot. The sun wasn't up. It was dark. And we planned it all out. Okay, I'm going to drop you here. We went and scouted that for a second. Then we, like, timed it to go to the other side of the river. And then we're like, all right, then we got to jump on the freeway, though. Don't come in. He's like, don't come and get me after this. Like, just meet me at the coffee shop down the road because it's highly illegal, like, if he gets busted. But, and so I went to the lookout, dropped him off at the, anyways, on that side, and he paddles across, and I'm sitting there watching him. You can see his little like stream going across. The sun's barely coming up, and I'm like, oh boy.
And it really wasn't that, at that time, it really wasn't that high of a flow. So he had quite the
like
drop.
Right, yeah, he had a big drop. It was enough to do it, but not like what it is right now.
Yeah.
And even right now, you wouldn't want to because of how the water is flowing below it, though.
Yeah. Exactly.
That thing would just annihilate you.
So the ones that are tuning in, if you aren't familiar with the Oregon City Falls, what's the drop when it's summertime and it's low?
50 feet?
Yeah, probably 50 feet.
And
50 to 75.
And right now during winter with all the snow and everything melting and all the rain, like it doesn't look like there's a fall there. It's like mad rushing river.
Yeah, so it's actually,
mad rushing river. It's angry.
Crazy. and right now, so it's actually called the Willamette River, right? Or Willamette Falls.
Yep.
And it's one of the top 4 or top 3 falls.
It is the biggest falls this side of the Mississippi River, supposedly.
Yes, it is.
As far as volume and water that moves over this falls, it's next to Niagara. So seriously, it is. And so it's an impressive thing to see right now where it's almost a lake. Like it's crazy. But so that's what's going on in Oregon as far as the weather is concerned. We have hit the gray time and a lot of water, which in the past January, I was actually surfing in January and it was like 60 something at the coast or almost 70. So, we'll be doing that. There's a lot of surfers out there right now, though, because the waves. So right now we're in king tide as well. The waves.
Is that still going on? I was wondering that because, man, the ocean was like
it's
angry this weekend.
It was
super
angry.
No beach. No. And just 20 to 30 foot waves coming in all the way to the road and the rocks.
Yeah, our coast is really cool looking right now.
So I don't, Tony, you guys are still on a drought in Vegas, 240 plus days. No rain. Are you kidding me? That's good. That's insane. I thought Rob posted some pictures of it raining the other day there. Just my opinion. JV's like, it's tempting to buy another house. We're back to the house. I'm just going through the comments here as they come in so people can catch up. She's like, it's tempting to buy another house. I want to pay off my house. You can use your current house as collateral though. Just food for thought, So anyway, carry on.
No, that's fine. Houses. I'm a trailer trash dude.
He is a trailer.
Thinking I can
someday though, dude. You see. So Nate's problem, if you don't understand Nate, he's kind of like the gypsy traveler. He loves to do outside stuff. He hasn't made a decision on where he wants to settle down. He moved out here 6 years ago now.
Yeah, about 6.
6 years ago, something like that. So I've known him probably 5.5 of that. It was pretty close. After he moved out here, we all met. But we won't get into how that happened. It is what it is.
What? We never had a bad meeting. Our meeting was fine.
No, how we actually all connected, though. You know what I'm saying? By you getting in with Sugar and then Sugar getting in with us.
Sugar out there.
Sugar. Yeah. So anyway, that's why I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Well, that's a quick one.
It was a very quick hole.
It was a shallow hole.
Excuse me. So back to Nate. He just doesn't know where he wants to settle down. He has family in Utah. He talks about Montana. He talks about Utah. He talks about Texas. He doesn't know where he wants to do. That's why he bought a trailer, lives in an RV, which is actually super smart because he was going room to room to room to room to. I mean, like renting a room, and,
and they just kept selling out from underneath. He was
hiring himself out.
Yeah, exactly. So,
hey, I'm still in that business. How you guys doing?
So it was a smart move for Nate to buy a trailer because he hasn't quite figured out what he wants to do yet with his life.
I just turned 41 and I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. That's kind of how it works.
But you can consider it.
Yeah,
freedom.
Yeah, Deli's like, me and Manny became friends 3 years ago because of sugar. There you go. Sugar is in every one of these conversations somehow, right?
Typically.
I mean, so props to Sugar.
He's a social whore.
He is a social whore, dude. I tell you what, though, Sugar, if you're listening somewhere, it is Suge's birthday. It was yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Sugar means well. I love Sugar to death. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, we put up with a lot with Sugar. He's a great guy. He tries his best for everybody and everything that he does. He puts 110% into it. That is one thing you get with him. He will never fail you at putting too much effort into it. Sometimes it's too much. Sometimes it's too much. He never does anything 70%. It's always 110. Great guy. Love him to death. I actually don't know where we'd be without him today. Actually, that's just my opinion.
So, Brandy, she's said there was nothing wrong with living in a trailer. Yeah, Brandy, we weren't actually talking negative at all about it. The fact is, I actually made this choice very consciously, and I've been super happy with it. I recommend the lifestyle to anyone. Honestly, if you're out there renting apartments and doing things like that,
you're wasting your money.
Yeah, you are. Get
wasting
yourself
your money.
Dude, get an RV, get a fifth wheel, get a travel trailer, build a van out. You have way more freedom. I mean,
especially with all these tiny home blow-ups over the last couple of years.
Build a tiny home.
It's tiny home, same thing. Tiny home, RV, it's all the same. It's all tiny home living.
Yeah, tiny home living is awesome.
So we have two members in the squad who live in tiny homes or trailers. Yeah. Nathan's one of them, and DJ Manny Fresco is another one. He came out here 3 years ago.
It's been probably 3 now.
3.5 years ago.
He actually, so his first year, he told me this story. He actually kind of hermitized, so he didn't really like get out as much his first year. So we think it's like 2 or 3 years. I think he's actually been here like 3 or 4 years because he didn't really try to get into the scene.
Gotcha.
Like in the first year.
Big quick shout out to AGI Pro DJ Kevin Shoop and Ty down in Eugene. Just cheered us 100 bits, man. 101 bits. Thank you, AGI Pro.
Nice, man.
That's another DJ company, equipment company that Alpha Systems and myself cannot do business without them. Great guys. If you guys need stuff, hit up AGI Pro. So.
Yeah, the tiny home life, I would say the only difference in the definition of like the tiny home versus an RV, tiny homes are actually built with like big 2x4s and like solid, like RVs are built a bit chintzier, but you get a lot more for your money, basically. So just clarifying that. But
well, the whole thing to take away from all this is that you own it outright, and you're not making payments, thus you are putting that money in your pocket or spending it and having fun.
To an extent.
I went bigger, so I did take on a payment on mine, but it's very minimal. Like the payments are stretched out forever, and like you can do whatever. But I've done pretty good at keeping, like looking at the value of what I have and keeping it below that, so I don't like lose my ass completely when I get out of it.
Yeah,
but.
Well, I'm saying, like, take it from someone like who's own a house, like Clint and I, who have lots of equity in their home, and if they were to sell their home, like for me, instance, I would make $200,000 on my home if I sold it right now. Mm-hmm. That would buy an awesome tiny home or camper or whatever.
Yes. For sure, for sure,
and be like set. Not have to make any payment, well, unless you have a rent space or whatever, or if you can find a little plot of land to park it on that you're not paying on. But anyways,
so
I mean, actually, that's something for 2020, and Clint kind of knows because of my obsession with it a little bit. But like the whole van lifing and tiny home and those projects,
it's going to happen for you in 2020. I know it's going to happen.
2021, I'm moving into a van somehow. I'm going to figure this out.
I don't know why. I think he's crazy, but it is what it is. I think he's missed the boat. But so AGI Pro's like, I'm looking for a tiny man to live in my backyard. A tiny man, or you want a tiny home for a studio? Come on, AGI. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, there might be special websites for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I know you're turning into a tiny man from a big guy like me. I mean, you've done really well. If anybody knows Kevin Shoop, that's who's running the AGI Pro right now. I could be wrong. I'm guessing. But if anybody knows Kevin Shoup, the dude has really kind of checked into his health, and he's lost a ton of weight, and he looks really well.
Good.
Props to Kevin for that. Just there you go. So
that's not a bad segue.
Texas is cheap to live. Everything down in the South. Like I got family in Mississippi, and I actually know somebody that I worked with that moved to Texas and bought a house for about $200,000 and has a pool. It's like 2,000 square feet. And I'm like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. And up here, it's like a $600,000 home. So houses are cheap down there.
So, but see, okay.
Cost of living is a little different though,
I was just going that. Oregon's expensive. We all know that. But cost of living. What is there? I mean, can I go to Texas and still make my numbers that I make for what I do for my day job? I don't know. I haven't looked at the market. You know what I'm saying? To be a project manager, so I don't know. But it's just like everything's relative to cost of wages, cost of living. AGI, which Kevin Shoup is, I need a tiny home for my backyard. Okay, now we understand. He wants a tiny home for his backyard.
Okay.
I think he wants actually a studio is what he's looking for. Or what do they call them? She sheds?
She shed.
She sheds? She shed. Yeah. So, and I'm not going to lie. The studio here sits on a little under 3/4 of an acre. Our house was almost $450,000. You know what I'm saying? Can we sell it today and make $100,000 for sure? Our last house we bought, we sold, we made $120,000. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a progression of what you want in life out of your house and your home for sure. So,
well, and the funny thing about the wages here though too, it's like it's the same, just about the same as the wages in Texas. Just everything here costs more. So for like 50 to 80% of people are struggling and they're making $20 an hour. Which you go anywhere else, like in Texas, $20 an hour is like, holy shit, that's a lot of damn money, So
I don't know who's on the chat over there in the Facebook land, but I can see Kevin's like truth talking about a she shed. Kevin and I have talked about a she shed, so that's why I know what he's talking about. But who on the chat here in Oregon has their own business? I just got done with my yearlies for the personal business, 2 personal business I have. Unemployment taxes going up in Oregon.
Damn.
Dude, I mean, how much harder can it get for the little guy at 37% in taxes, dude? 37% of your income is taxes now.
Crazy, man.
Well, somebody's got to pay for all the unemployed people here. I mean, that's how they look at it, essentially.
So you times that, so it's getting out of hand. And it's like, I think I'm going to go back underground. And I told the wife that too. It's like, I can't, it's really hard to do business as a sole op or an LLC as an individual, to pay the taxes to be legal in Oregon. It's coming to that point for me. That's just my opinion. So
yeah, it's never been. It's a bunch of shit.
Oh, see, that's right there. I'm not going to say who that is, but yes, it's a bunch of shit. Thank you, Brandy. Appreciate it.
I think that's a good point, especially coming from the DJs here. Just to let you know, the perspective. We have been 1099, and it's always like there's a 30% chunk taken out of you when you start. You're starting in a hole, and you're trying to stay above it. That's
that's always worked. It is funny, and it's funny you transition to that because I know people ask us, and people ask, well, what do you charge? And some of the times my question is it cash or is it 1099? And it's like, why does it matter? Because 1099 taxes or my price is more versus a cash price.
Yeah.
And it's like, we got to cover our taxes somehow because let's say we're going to do a gig for $200 and it's $10.99. You take 35% right off the top. So that's $150. Quick math. It's like $165. Where a cash price, I would do it for that same $200. So a $10.99 would have to be a $250 price to cover the taxes to keep. Or I'm not going to go to work. It's just the way I think about it. So anyway,
and that's for you're talking about like a consistent regular gig. Like
Correct.
that's every weekend
Correct.
you're getting. So you're making more than the $700 annual that you would have to claim.
Correct.
Yeah, if it's a one-off private event, so that margin is a lot bigger because that involves our equipment, our time, our planning, everything else. Where our weeklies, as much as people think, and I think that was something we looked at a lot of topics. What was it that we thought we could ask? And this is a good transition. What is it really like being a DJ compared to people's perspective of what we are? You know what I'm saying? So, and I think this is a good starting topic for that discussion. And financially, we don't typically in one night in a bar, we don't typically make as much as we'd make in one wedding. Okay.
Of course not.
But the perception, I think, is elsewise. I think because there's more people there. It's like shinier and brighter, and like clubs are bumping and things. They think all of a sudden you're this super rock star, so that you're worth a lot more.
Yeah.
But in a local market situation, if you're not a big touring DJ, typically a wedding and everything's going to pay more. And why is that?
There's more work involved in it, dude. Tons of work involved in weddings. Our chat's filled with wedding jocks right now. I'm not going to call them wedding jocks, but I mean, every DJ does weddings. Tony, Kevin Shoup, Deli, all these guys do weddings along with ourselves. We all do weddings. They're a ton of work. There's a lot of maintenance on our gear. There's a lot of prep, making sure it is the most important day to that bride.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. That day is for the bride. The groom doesn't give a shit. That's just my opinion. So
unless it's a gay wedding, and
then that's a different story. So, and we've done those. We've done them both. It is what it is. So I bet you pay $32K in taxes for 24 for the state and federal combined. That's Kevin Shoup. I'm not gonna lie. Your businesses are a lot more, but yes, Kevin, I agree. Our Oregon taxes are crap. I live out middle in BFE, and I still have to pay a transit tax. I have nothing to do with the transit, buses and trains and all that. I still have to pay the transit tax, so I don't fucking understand it. Anyway, but back to the perception, yes. But there's the plus and minuses of that. Clubs and bars are more consistent.
Yes.
That's why I have never given up on bars and clubs, because it's consistent money every Friday, Saturday night, sometimes a weekly thrown in there. Weddings are from April, September. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's wedding jocks can do really well, stack a lot of cash, buy a lot of gear. A wedding, let's say a 5-hour, you're booked for a 5-hour wedding, turns into 7, 8, 9 hour day though.
Yeah, the day is shot on one wedding, in my opinion. Anyone that tries to do a couple without a team, man, I don't know how you do it. And that doesn't even take. Then you got to factor all the planning and the calls and the emails and the meetings that you had coming up for months prior to this wedding. So that's why those in that market's different.
I don't do weddings. I learned my lesson on the last one, and I was doing it as a favor for someone.
You don't get married?
That had quoted a price. I'm not going to say what the price was, but it doesn't matter with any wedding, and any guy that does weddings can tell you this. And maybe the ones that have done enough of them and that is their job and they do them all the time would know to average the time that you spend not actually doing the wedding on the wedding day or planning, but you are also spending tons of hours prepping for the wedding outside of all of that. And that's what I learned on my last one. And I said I'd never do it again. I probably spent a good 4 to 6 hours of my own time just gathering music that the bride wanted. And then at the last minute, they threw more stuff that wasn't even discussed originally on the list of songs that they wanted to play.
So how hard was that stuff to find on vinyl?
I had it all. What are you talking about? No,
so you're right. I mean, Nate and I do. He's done a lot of weddings. Nate, I've done weddings. We've tag teamed weddings. But with today's, I'm gonna come straight out. Our basic price for Hit Squad 4 hours is $1,200 just for us to get to show up.
Yeah.
And that's just somebody to show up, do the reception, and do, I mean, and I tell people when they ask us, hey, do you guys do weddings? And we do weddings. And this is I tell them up front, like the very first conversation, what we charge, because I'm tired of the so-called tire kickers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, do you guys do weddings? What do you guys charge? I don't even get into it. It's like I don't get into location. I don't get into anything before I go, this is where we start. Do we work in your budget? Sure. Then we'll continue the conversation because you can waste so much time working with them, and then you tell them the price. Oh, we can't afford that, so it's just wasted a bunch of time. So,
Well, and that's something I don't think people think about either is we also do our own sales, and you have to script those properly or else you got to spend more time on revenue than wasting time, and you just don't want to.
Oh, Detroit, it's like, holy shit, it's Twilight Zone. Cryptic's on television. There he is. What up, D? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in, man. Tony's like, I hate doing weddings, but they pay good. It all depends on it does pay good. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I have done weddings for free. I have done weddings for pennies. Every situation is different. Every family member is different. Every friend is different. But if I don't know you and you're cold calling or you're cold messaging us on the Hit Squad page, me personally, it's $1,200 to get any one of myself or any one of the Hit Squad dudes through me is $1,200. And every person who gets a wedding through me, they get the full pay. I do not take a single cent of that wedding. That's just me though. So
both my brother and my sister had got married while I've been a DJ, and I didn't do either one of them. I'll tell you, that's one thing, like listening to Cryptic's story, I've learned, like, you don't do your favorite weddings and you don't do close family. It's just a good rule of thumb. Doing the business and the family thing, it's a scary barrier to go through. Sometimes I look back at it and I kind of wish I would have done my sister's. It would have been nice for her, but I was intimidated working for my sister.
I would be too, according to the way you describe your sister.
Yeah, she's a go-getter, man. I don't mess with
her. The thing that really bugged me is the last minute changes. Like, I can explain this wedding that I did, and it was terrible. I'm telling you. But like, got set up and was ready to play, and then before they started letting people up into the banquet room, they said, hey, we want to do this walkthrough and play all the music for all the groomsmen and bridesmaids to walk in on and do this little dance, and we need to do this. So this was like never discussed at all the whole time. We got together, the numerous phone calls we had back and forth, getting music together and stuff for this, and then last minute, they decide to throw that at me where I'm having to like play snippets of music real quick so they can do their walkthrough. So it's like perfect, when everybody's inside. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Like, I get it. If I would have known, like, I probably would have been, here's an extra $400 I'm going to charge you because I know something's going to come up later that you're going to want me to do. So I'm just charging you up front.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then with clubs and bars, I think the thing that always has to continue, it's the hustle, I guess. There's always maintaining in the groups in the community. Like, it's not like you have to go out and party all the time, but sometimes you have to make an appearance. Like sometimes you have to go and shake some hands, shake babies or something like that.
You did,
but
see, and that's the downside if you're working as much as we used to work. Yeah. You couldn't get out and get into people's faces. We turned into old people downtown because we could never get out there. But there was times, though, like when I would take a night off, I physically would start taking nights off and physically just go downtown to stay in people's faces, say hi to them, still make phone calls, still make connects, just to still be in their face you don't get forgotten about.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of face-to-face networking in this career of things, and that's the other thing too. There's kind of a catch-22 into the perception of DJing being the life of the party or being the party guy, and there's very few DJs that can pull off being the party guy and have a good career. Mm-hmm. Once you let the lifestyle, what I like to quote unquote call the lifestyle, eat you, it usually eats you up, and you have a short shelf life, and your career is not going to be that long. But Yeah, but the advantage of that is that's what attracts people to your dance club and different things, is thinking that, oh, there's a DJ and DJs are crazy and DJs party and DJs get wild. But I don't know.
I show up at 9:00 and go home at 2:15.
Yeah, but here's the actual truth.
I mean,
there we go. That's right there is the absolute truth.
Yeah. Shake Baby's called PCS. Detroit says, D, how's those burger flippings and those taco salads coming for you down there? I did it and came out all right. Maybe is the key word for you, D. Maybe. See, but D, your situation is a little different. You're a hell of a DJ. You worked at some pretty dope clubs in downtown Portland. Then you kind of retired on the easy side. What do you say? The easy side, Nate, going to the strip club?
Yeah, it's
a totally different world. It's a different realm for being a DJ. It's a lot of mic work, and you're there to control the women, and that's it.
Yeah, it's I don't know. The word easy is rough a little bit. It takes less technical ability.
If you're controlling women, does that make you a pimp?
You almost are, because they're paying you to control them.
Yeah, it's
a weird world, dude.
It's a really weird relationship. It's I always put it in like, so yeah, 20-something girls, you have like 26 girlfriends for about 4 to 6 hours,
and then to beat them down to get your money out of them is like always the worst. So, bitch, you didn't pay me,
and there isn't,
So you just get them high as hell and steal their money.
That's
all these theories are true.
It is, but
there's a bunch of different methods to make this happen.
So, but D was really good at always getting his money out of them. I don't know how he managed to do it time in and time out. He was like the asshole at the club, but everybody loved him. Yeah. So it's just like
he did that too. Got him high. And
don't do that too, Cryptic. Yeah. See, it's like.
Yeah, there was a comparison made. I think he even got told this once, but like you kind of, there's one theory, and I played this theory more. It was always, he was kind of more the aggressive guy of getting his money for times, but then he changed over time. He was the master of the world on that one, but you always needed a guy more aggressive on your staff. Like if you're one of like 4 DJs at a club, right?
Yeah.
You're rotating through the shifts. You hope one of them's a dick, then you don't have to be, unless you're good at being the dick. Mm-hmm. But if someone is the dick, it's cool. You get to just like play the happy camper, like,
and they're all
girls,
nice to meet you. Yeah.
How's it going? High five, chest pump, grab a little buddy. All right.
But that's Nate Smith. That's cool. That's his MO though. Is always the happy giddy guy.
I killed it that way. Like it was like cheers going off.
You were doing strip clubs 4 nights a week. No, two day shifts and 2 night shifts, right, or something like that. It was.
Oh, I mean, it's through my career. Like I don't know. There's been times
the last strip club run.
I was doing 2 days, and then I was doing 4. So I had 1 karaoke, 3 club nights, and 2 strip club shifts, all within 4 days. Yeah. So I was karaoke on Wednesday, and then Thursday was CC Slaughters, and then Friday. Go to Spice, go to wherever the hit squad needed me that night. Saturday, same type of deal. So, yeah, I had 6 gigs in 4 days. And, I was mainly doing that because D and our other boy, Travis, both were like, we need you to come in, we don't want to do this shift kind of deal. We need you. And I was like, I don't really need to do this, but all right, guys, I'll help you out. And it turned into like 2 years.
So PDX, so sorry to cut you off, but PDX, Danny Ocean's like, when they hire strip club DJs, do they all tell them to use the same voice influence? So
that is a very, very funny thing. Absolutely.
And D, like the best strip club DJ in Portland that I would almost call him one of the top strip club dudes in Portland.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think I would have to say when I was working with him, Travis, and myself, it was the first time I worked at a strip club and kind of went, yo, we're all like at this, like we're all good.
You guys were all,
we're all really good at that job.
You're all at the passing of like
crazy.
Between you, Detroit, Travis, I don't know Travis that well. That's my fault.
Yeah,
but anyway. You add all 3 you guys up with probably 45 years combined in strip clubs?
Yeah, it was crazy. And
so that's a long time in strip clubs.
And we are all a little different. It was the first time where I wasn't in a gentleman's strip club and not feeling like I was sitting at the front of the short bus.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it actually, like most of the time I came in, my story is the same. I started out at Rhino out here, and all of a sudden I was getting people fired, not on purpose.
Yeah.
It was just they kept bumping them because of me. And it's not like I'm a god of this. It's just,
You've been doing it a long time.
yeah, you just don't be a complete jackass, and
exactly.
you'll get all the shifts. It's fine.
You got to be good on the mic, which I'm
Yeah.
not. So
We can tell you're quiet.
Yeah, I just sit back and.
Yes.
Hey, so Detroit would probably know that another DJ in the strip club industry who's in Vegas right now, but Mestizo was the one that ran the Dolphin when it was the Dolphin back in the day for like years.
Steve,
He was really good. Mestizo.
I don't know. No.
Yeah. Do you know who he is, Detroit?
He's probably typing right now. Measy.
Yeah.
LOL.
Yeah, being good in a strip club is kind of like I don't know how to compare that. It's not really being good at your track selection is just your track selection. Sometimes it's for the girls, sometimes for its club, and you're just playing a balance with that depending on how you're getting paid. But two, it's ultimately just keeping your stage covered, and I think being able to be heard on the microphone, like honestly, you'd be surprised how many guys are doing this. And the only reason, like, so the owner of Spice, after me filling in one time, came all the way from upstairs, downstairs, and came up to the booth to shake my hand, and it freaked me out. He's like, I could actually understand you and hear you. And I'm like, what? Like that should just be a common thing. But so back to the voice thing, the guy asked if you are all required to do that. I don't understand why everyone gets into that point.
Cheesy.
So they got one or two. They crank their bass on their EQ typically.
Yeah.
They get really close and say, Candy coming up to the next stage. And they slow their voice down.
Coming to nut on the stage, what'd you say?
Coming to the next stage. Stage number one. But they, or they go completely nasal and sound like they're a race
Like me.
car. Like announcer, like Candy to stage two times sexy. Get her in the back and get those lap dances, boys. And I don't know why that always happens, and it does when you're in there. It's really hard. It just sounds like and then a girl pops up, right?
Yeah,
but
so nobody can understand actually what you're saying.
Not those guys.
See, and it's funny because I can sit here and talk to the camera, and even on our stream, I can talk. If people know me past before DJing, I used to be a RC director, a race announcer. I had a microphone shoved to my mouth for.
Did you go
8,
real
9.
nasal with it?
No, exactly. It was just like this though. I mean, but it was a handheld calling races for 8, 9, 10 hours a day for 3, 4 weeks, whatever. But when I DJ, I don't fucking use a microphone. I do not talk on a microphone when I DJ. It's just, I don't need it. That's the way I look at it. I don't need to tell the bartenders, hey, this dude over here. That's just not me. It's just, I've never been one to pick up a microphone when I DJ, unless I have to, unless it's like a Halloween, a New Year's. Some of the bigger events where you're going to have a conversation with somebody or you got to direct people, then I'll hook up a microphone. On a regular Friday or Saturday night, that's why I have an MC.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So
Here's my view on that. And I'm the same way. I usually don't get on the microphone, and you guys that are on chat that have seen me DJ on here would know that. But I've seen so many DJs where they're constantly on the mic, and in my opinion, it kills the vibe, even though they think they're hyping everyone up. But it's terrible. And there's like some big name DJs. I could name a few that I don't like for that simple fact, because every time I've seen them live, they are constantly talking and yelling and screaming over the mic while the song's playing, just trying to get people all pumped up. And it's like, if you know the right songs to play and the right mood to set and the right energy, you don't need to talk, because the crowd's going to stay on the floor and keep dancing and be pumped the whole night.
That comes back to programming and reading your room or wherever you're at. I mean, but I guess as a traveling guy, that would be different because you don't know what that said venue is. So you come in with a set list. You come in with whatever you've programmed for that show. So I don't know. It just seems different to me if you're a traveling DJ versus a resident DJ versus a local DJ versus, I don't know.
Well, and so there's a difference there though too. So like I've noticed if you're a traveling DJ and you're someone big named, it really is based on the venue too. So are you playing in a club or are you playing, say, a theater or wherever else the venue may be, a bar or something like that? Those people that have bought tickets, they paid for tickets because they want to see you do your thing versus going to the club and paying money at the door just to go in a club and then you just happen to be the DJ playing. Big difference there.
Huge difference. And back to Detroit, the big show doesn't need to talk. You're right. I don't need to talk about anything. You're right.
No,
so, Cryptic, but you don't want to have Serato's screen face either. Who does that? Oh, Detroit. We all do it. We all have to stare at our screen. We all know what Serato face is. We all need to find the next track. But that technology is changing. They have them in our mixers now. You know what I'm saying? So...
we get that same dumb glare, but we're looking down.
We're looking down, but nobody knows because the computer's like out of the way. I mean, I haven't DJ'd the computer in front of my face in probably, 6-7 years. I finally moved it to my right. But on that said, I can never DJ without my computer again. I like the search function. I like to categorize the way it just creates. It's just me. So,
but to me though, looking at the screen is no different than like, say, a vinyl guy like me turning my back and looking through crates of vinyl. Because you got to get the music somehow.
Exactly.
So at some point, I mean, you do have to train yourself to like stop and have fun with the music and acknowledge the crowd after your mix, but then go back and start looking for whenever you do it, it's just
You have to at some point look for the next track.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter. So, but I agree, Detroit. There's a lot of people that do just look at their screen and they do not pay attention to what's happening in front of them. They might glance up or they might glance here or there, but they do stare at the computer. I don't like the guys that like put the computer like right in front of them and then all their control surface is here and then all you see is a computer.
Yeah.
It's like you can't connect with the crowd that you're trying to connect with if you're staring at a screen or down at your control surface. That's, so I know Nate likes to play with his to the left.
I don't care. I don't like it in front anymore either. Just because I trained myself to get away from that as well. The only reason I used to do it was due to the case I owned. I had one of those shelves on it that slid out and it was directly in front of you on the coffin. Yeah. And so that's when I used that. But when I started using separate stands and 3-piece cases for my equipment and controllers, then I moved to the left or the right. It just depends who I'm following. But for the most part, is it my right or my left?
It's your left.
It is my left.
It's your left.
I'm majority left.
Yeah, you are.
But
that's why we tag team so well together.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think it's more I've turned left because more people go right, and, and I'm the ultimate fill-in dude all the time. I think that's why I've done so much. It's like I think my life has been here's the best and worst of it. I am good at a lot of things, but not really good at one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good at a lot of stuff, but I'm not an expert at one. So it's like that's kind of why I did so much, like from karaoke to strip clubs and DJing in a week, because I don't know, I couldn't just do one.
So I guess one thing moving the computer to the right for me is done. I can type a hell of a lot faster with one hand now.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Because everything's over here to my right, so I'm typing and searching for tracks with one hand. I type faster with one hand on the keyboard than I do with two. I don't know if it's just years of typing with one hand. I don't know. It's just me. Jack of all trades, master of none. He's JV. He's master of one all by himself. So
well, that's a whole personal note there. But, that was the statement I was looking for. But
so
yeah, absolutely. I think one of the discussions was the whole crowd reading scenario. If it's taught or just ingrained in you, if you're born with it or not. That's probably I've tried showing that skill to people.
You can't teach it.
That's a hard.
You cannot teach crowd reading.
One to teach.
You just have to go with your instincts and years of practice and knowing what songs I think work and what songs don't work. I covered this last time in our podcast, our last stream. Actually, I was talking to somebody about it. I don't know who I was, but that's why we're at some venues, or at least I know I am. Why I'm at some venues, why I have been for so long, is rotation of bodies. You know what I'm saying? I can look at the bar and go, oh, fuck, the bartenders are packed. I'm going to play so-and-so tracks to get them away from the bar. Or if I look at the bar and their bartenders are sitting there on their phones or doing whatever because I'm keeping the patrons occupied, I'll play stupid music just to get them to the bar. But that just comes with knowing, I guess, how to read your room, I guess, and pay attention to the bartenders and pay attention to the entire room surface if you have a clean visual of the entire space. I know, like the place that you play, the Wild Horse, is really hard to play at because it's like 3 separate rooms and you're in one room. So
yeah, that venue, when you're splitting, you can't see everything. It's hard. I always say though, like the way I scan my room is very much like how I like.
You play for the women, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, but it's kind of like lifeguarding. Like they teach you to scan the pool left to right and up and down.
Yeah. You
scan your room the same way, and I look at people's feet and their heads, and sometimes their ass if it's hot. But for the most part, those are the sections I'm looking for. If you're tapping your feet or bobbing your head, that's the beginning of what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah,
and that's where like I can. If you're on the floor, I've already gotten you there. But if I look out to the outsides and I can see what they like, I will try to combine the two with who's in front of me already, so I can build that floor.
Mm-hmm. Detroit saying Wild Horse is extremely difficult to play in. It is extremely difficult. It's a tough venue to play in, not only in location but the way it's set up. But they do have a badass sound system. So
we put that in. That was
anyway. So what are your plans for 2021 besides trying to get into more?
Right now, I mean, it's just dealing with seasonal depression and stress. No, just kidding. I would say
you need more vitamin D.
Yeah, I need a lot more vitamin D. That'll be something I look forward to in 2021 once we hit the summertime. Yeah. But the other thing, I have to figure out a way to reinvent, I believe, just because the amount of time it's going to take for this to turn back into income what we used to have is I foresee it being too long. So I'm hoping to move into video production and some of these content creations with a lot more online marketing. So I'm doing as much free courses as I can right now, and a couple smaller paid ones I've went through. But yeah, I'll be putting myself out there hopefully the next couple months and see if I can start building an income from another business. So
something somewhere. It's funny. It's like, not to go back. I'm going to go back here before I go forward. One of my plumbers today, he was talking to me, and it's funny. It's just perfect timing. He's asked like, so what have you been doing? I said, just this. He's like, well, what about your DJ stuff? Everything's fucking closed, dude. What are you talking about, Kyle?
What are we supposed to do?
He's like, so how much money do you think you've lost because of this? And it's like, I kind of went down a quick little math in my head, dude. And it's probably, I'm going to say, since with this all shut down, probably about $50,000 to $60,000, dude. I mean, for
easily,
and it's just like, he was blown away. And it's like, dude, yeah, that's a lot of cash just to not have, I mean, but that's a lot of us though, right now in this industry. It's just crazy how much, I know some production people that just have lost everything, dude. They've sold gear. It's just to make ends meet, dude. People are clearing their warehouses. It's just sad. So where do I see myself this year? Doing better in my daytime job. That's for sure. What it can be, I don't know, dude. I already do $1 million projects. So, but I think more efficiency for my daytime stuff and hoping to get back to the clubs, so.
Maybe I might boost my Bumble account. Just kidding.
I'm telling you, dude, an OnlyFans page.
Okay, I know, dude. I actually, so there's a guy that I'm acquainted to that puts his stuff up on his stories that he's just videoing these girls. I'm not sure if they get naked because I haven't checked out their page, but I think they just look good and they bounce around out in the outdoors places. And I think they're making a living off that.
I don't know. JV, back to JV's comment. Yes, JV, it's insane how much money our industry is losing right now because things are closed down, dude. It's not just people just don't stop and think about how much money comes through a bar, club, weddings, private parties, and you can't do any of that, dude. It's insane amount of money for sure. I get really frustrated thinking about it.
Well, and I had a lot of friends and my brother and things that work on tour and all those type of deals too. Man, there are so many road jobs you wouldn't even think of that are gone.
Yes, affected by this for sure.
I mean, even the simple driver of a tour bus, I mean, think about
that.
Gone.
So, water boy, gone.
Yeah.
I mean, the simple things, but it is what it is. Anyway, this show will be up on Apple Podcast, Spotify, our Spotify play podcast. It'll be on YouTube also. Follow up for you guys. Go back and listen to it. Actually, go back and listen to the audio. It's a little bit more. You can just sit back and enjoy and listen to it. I've listened to all the audios before I put them up live for everybody to hear. It's quite interesting to hear myself talk and recap of like, oh yeah, that it's just, I don't know. I feel more enjoyment after listening to it again,
So, Cryptic, do you like your voice?
No.
Yeah. See,
no.
Yeah. That's the funny thing with it too. It takes a lot of time for someone to be comfortable with their voice on a microphone.
I think it takes a lot of time having a microphone just shoved in your face and and realize that this is what it takes to communicate to people is a microphone in your face to get it out to anybody. But like I said, Nate and I have both been in radio, being a race director, microphone shoved in my mouth. I'm not afraid of the microphone only when I DJ. I don't fucking need it. That's my opinion. So
Wood says he doesn't like his voice either. I think that's a really common thing. I'd like to look it up again. One of the most, I think it was like the top 2 stressful fears or whatever in the world was public speaking.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes along with that as well.
See, it's funny you bring that up because public speaking, I mean, I have a hard time talking in front of a huge crowd. You know what I'm saying? But I do really well at it. Yeah. This, I can sit here and talk to a camera and talk to people here I know that I don't know who's going to tune into it, whatever. It's just different perspective, different time. I don't know. It's really weird. I was never the one like to stand up in class and go, oh, look at me. I need to have a fucking story to tell or something. It just wasn't me. I just sat in the class and
I was.
If I went to class. So yeah.
I don't know. I was that guy in elementary. I MC'd. Like, so I grew up in Elko, Nevada, though, so don't think I was like in LA doing this, but I was MCing all our assemblies. Like they were having me introduce guests and do all that through elementary school.
Were you singing the Spangled Banner too?
No, I've never really had the singing career, unfortunately. But we had our stupid thing called cowboy poetry. And
read cowboy stories. Who's gonna come home?
No, it's the weirdest thing, dude. People travel to Elko, Nevada from all around to go to this thing, and it's cowboys that like make poems to their cows and things. Like
what?
Yeah, weirdest crap ever. But we have like a week of it, like in Elko, Nevada.
Shit,
yeah,
dude.
like dress up week and crap, like different, like wear cowboy boots this day. It was crazy.
So Tony's like, once things improve, whatever that looks like, I'll be working on being a destination DJ. Tony, as soon as you figure that out, you're an open format dude. I got you a spot in Portland. I get you in anywhere. Just remember that, buddy. So,
what defines a destination DJ?
Going different places in DJing. You know what I'm saying? So Deli was a destination. He just went to Tampa. So pre-COVID, I did tons of public speaking. Don't you do public speaking every day though, Tone? I'm just curious. Don't you work at like a CarMax or something? I think he's a car salesman.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, sales, public speaking, all that. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of like, there's all those motivational, and that's one of the largest industries ever. Like
motivational speakers.
Yeah, motivational speaking.
Buy my shit, bitch.
Yes, right there, perfect.
I sold. I think you just sold a Volkswagen, right?
Yeah,
that's right, and that's how he did it.
Yeah. So,
I started out at a Little League park by my house, begging the parents to read the lineups and crap. I used to take my bike. That's what I did for my excitement. I was like, I'm going to Little League park and asking.
You did grow up in a little podunk town, though.
Yeah,
so
I
mean,
but yeah, it was pretty funny. So yeah. Anyway, so the point of that, I was just trying to make it easier for you, Cryptic. It's fine. Everybody dislikes their voice.
It's okay, buddy. So this was
I let my music speak for me. So
there you go. So a little backstory. I hit Cryptic about 4:30. It's like, hey, dude, you want to join our podcast tonight? And like nothing for hours. I think he must have been stewing on it, asking his wife, Steph, can I go over to the boys' house and play and hang out? He hits me up like, hey, dude, I could be there, but the podcast, I got to bounce by 9. He has to go to work, which I respect. And I say, hey, the podcast is only 7 to 9. It's cool. Nate and I can handle it by ourselves. He's like, next thing I know, I'm here. All right, shit, we got to get the microphone set up. We got to get it's all good. But thanks for joining us as always, dude. You're always welcome here. You know that for sure.
Thank you.
So, and
2021, what do you think is going to happen with our group so far? And we're going to continue pushing this on, I hope.
Yeah, we're as a group. He was freedomed. Yes, he was JV freedomed. As far as a group, we are 8 years old currently right now, I believe, somewhere in there. 8, 9, shit, I don't remember. We have a little rough patch right now because of COVID. I will say that, dude. It's really frustrating being the president. If guys just don't want to participate, I get it. It's COVID. People are freaked out. They're doing their thing, trapped in their houses. They can't do anything. I have some plans for us for Hit Squad. We got to get everybody together just so we can all get on the same page post-COVID, hit the ground running hard. Because we had a strong showing before COVID. So, yes, let's grow. Let's grow it. Physicality's like, let's grow it. I think Thiz is like, let's grow it. With Thiz, it's growing, dude. Trust me, I'm doing everything in my power. Nate is doing everything in his power. There's a lot of inner workings with Hit Squad. We're a collective. No one owns us. We're all independent contractors. So I think that's the misconception that a lot of people have about us. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of by design.
It is. It is. But we got people all across the U.S. Dude, there's 19 of us across the U.S. now, dude. And everybody plays a different, unique role in how they contribute to the Hit Squad. Grandpa Noise not just moved. He's been in Arizona a while, but he's put together his own little clique there in Arizona. Chelly in New York. Dude, they're just everywhere. I'm not going to go through the list. You don't need to. It's crazy. But a lot of the majority stuff happens here in the Portland, the Northwest area. So I think the first and foremost that I would like to do for the Hit Squad going forward is get us back on getting us our monthly gatherings. I think was huge for us. Getting all of us together to do our practicing, talking about music, just hanging out, having a good time. I think it really helped us all mentally and stay together. We have kind of drifted apart because of COVID. I know Woody's been doing his part to come hang out with us. Manny Fresco's doing his part. Deli's doing his part. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing, but kind of doing their part to hold us together. And I'm over here just trying to just chimney this fucking stream along, but I'm not good. I'm not going to give up soon. So, D's working on things in Seaside. It's just like everybody's kind of doing something out there to help us chug along. Trust me, guys, we're not going to fall away. We're not going away anytime soon. And let's be real, dude. If it wasn't for Noise, if it wasn't for DJ Rose, if it wasn't for Kevin Lee, it wasn't for myself, DJ Epps, none of this would be here. It was all Rosie's, Noise, Kevin Lee, and Epps' conception. You know what I'm saying? Hands down, Noise and Rosie. This all spun off from their show they had on air radio. And it spun off from there, and then people have come and they've gone. And, it's just so much love to DJ Noise. If you guys know him, great dude. DJ Rosie, he's moved to California now. But yeah, this is going to continue forward. Physicality, it is going to grow. It is going to grow. I do have a running list of new candidates to join us. It's just a matter of we have to get together as a collective and talk about it. That is one thing as a collective. It's not one person's viewpoint to bring somebody in. We all have to agree on it as a collective. That person coming in, whoever brings a person in, if you don't like them, if there's a problem, you have to kick them out of the clue.
Yeah.
So it's really tough to bring somebody in and they don't work out. Then you have to kick them out, you know? So, but we've had 4 or 5 of us bring people in and we've had to kick people out. It just doesn't work out. It doesn't mesh. Things don't work, you know? Yeah, I miss Rose's jokes. Fuck yeah, dude. For sure. Manny Fresco. Sorry I'm late. Good seeing you, Manny. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, so we have to get together. There's a running list of people that I would like to see part of the collective. There's a lot of benefits once you become a member of the collective. Discounts is huge for equipment for some guys. You know what I'm saying? The music server we all share. The music collections. You get access to any equipment of all members to do an event. You know what I'm saying? So there's a huge part. It's a huge undertaking. Once again, we are sole operators, though.
Yeah.
So
we just have each other's back. That's all it comes down to. Anyways, hey, can you get this thing running? There was some stuff on there that I thought would be cool, but or let's. How about you do that and open it up to Would You Rather? Let's play Would You Rather. Because yeah, why not? Would you rather, bro? Not the New Year one. Yeah.
this or that?
No. It's called WIR or something. Would you rather?
Hold on. We're so physicality, yes.
I'll find it.
Detroit's like the server is dope. The server is dope. I've put a lot of time into the server. If you guys don't know, I do host a server.
You want to pick the question?
For the DJs. It's, I don't know. It's like logging on to any music source server. You know, if you guys have DJ services, it's like that, but it's our private server. So.
All right, so
that's a good one.
So we're gonna start a segment right now because we got about 20 minutes
somewhere in there,
and we're kind of rotating in questions or whatever, moving backwards as well, and this also can kind of bring in you guys that are in the chat room, and you can answer these questions as well. Do you want to ask these questions, or do you want me to?
You can read them better than I can. You guys are better than mine.
Cryptic's right there. That's what I'm asking. Cryptic, no? I'll do it. All right, guys.
He's shy. He's a shy guy.
Here we go. Would you rather begin each sentence with, I am the greatest person in the world, or end each sentence with, you suck? What do you feel? What do you feel?
You suck.
You asking me?
Yeah.
You suck.
Clint wants to end every sentence with, you suck. What do you want to start yours?
Well, I'm pretty humble, so I'd have to say you suck too. So I can't say I'm the greatest person
I'm going to
in the
just
world.
say it differently. Every time I start my sentences from now on, I'm going to just say, I'm the greatest person in the world.
That's a little like overachiever, big-headed bastard, aren't you?
I'm just trying to program myself for 2021, you know?
I don't think it's going to get you that far.
Damn it.
Here they come. So Detroit's like, you suck. JV's like, you suck. Manny Fresco's, you suck.
Everyone wants to say you suck. I was trying to
dude.
be positive.
You're just trying to be that fucking big fathead over there.
Five against one.
All right. Okay. The majority goes that way. So, would you rather be a trendsetter or a record breaker? Would you rather be a trendsetter?
Well,
or a record breaker?
So for me, I've always liked to break the records, the music's people. So I always have to go like a record breaker.
Okay, that kind of makes sense.
I would say a trendsetter because
Along with your hats.
yeah, record breakers are for the record books, and that's like you're cool for a second and then forgotten about.
Big buddy,
because no one reads that shit.
Yeah. Big buddy, not good seeing you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in with us. He's like, I would rather start with I'm the greatest person in the world because I don't want anybody to feel bad. Well, you're a big bad Bud Nitty Knock, though. And he's like, he'd rather be a record breaker. JV's like a record breaker. Detroit's a trendsetter.
I'm going to be a trendsetter.
All right, trendsetter.
Yeah.
I think saying you suck would have the same effect as saying I'm the greatest person in the world, but I don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, would you rather have a clean bathtub or a clean refrigerator at all times?
Bathtub.
Refrigerator.
Well, when you say clean refrigerator, like empty shelves?
Well, I guess that's true. I guess.
Are we talking, like, if we're talking about just hygiene-wise?
Are like,
yeah.
I don't know how. You're the one that asked the damn question, come on.
I'm reading the question. I would say I'm going with the clean bathtub, but because I eat out too much.
Yeah, JV's like bathtub, Big Buddy Knox like clean fridge. Detroit's like refrigerator. Tony's going back to trendsetter. Tony says clean fridge, don't use the bathtub. I would have to go. I use a shower. I mean, I want a clean fridge. That's where my food comes from. Is out of the fridge. I don't use a
bathtub either, but if you got those shower bath combos, you don't want to be standing in like 2 inches of foot grime.
Yeah, but I mean, we all showered in questionable places once or twice. That's a damn fact. Knock. We've all showered in places we shouldn't have been. That's for sure.
We've ordered food from questionable places too, though. Think about that.
And that's why they make slippers. So, I mean, if you're really that bad, put some slippers on. And then Thiz is like a clean bathtub. They are a pain to clean. A clean bathtub. Bathtubs are a pain in the ass. They are. So,
and that's kind of where I was in the train of thought too. Like, of one place I think it's easier to clean my refrigerator and wipe down that than it is getting in my shower.
But how dirty does your refrigerator get?
It's not bad because
anyway,
it's more like builds up the ice because there's nothing in there. I need to just turn the damn thing off and stop wasting
propane
and propane in the RV world.
Gotcha. Let's go on to the next.
All right, next question, ladies and gentlemen. Would you rather always have boogers in your nose or food stuck in your teeth?
Neither.
Yeah,
you only have a choice.
No, bullshit.
Would you rather?
Neither.
There's no neither. There's no D.
I would say, yeah, I'd have to say boogers over teeth.
Nah, man. Food stuck in your teeth, I think, is a little less gross than having boogers hanging out your nose.
I'd have food stuck in my teeth for sure over,
Yeah, I think I'll go that route too. What's the chat room saying? Boogers or food in your teeth?
Food so far by Detroit. JV is like food. Food, I think, is the common interest here. So
here's one that's music related, so this works out. But it's kind of dated too. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. Would you rather spend all day listening to Pearl Jam or Nirvana? Should have replaced that with something better, but
they're both the same. They're one of the same almost.
I'm a bigger Nirvana fan than Pearl Jam.
I would have to go Nirvana myself too. So
yeah, I'm the odd man on that one. I'm Pearl Jam.
So sorry, Woody, for Brace's
live. Always got food in them
Sorry,
things,
always
dude.
got exactly. So Thiz is like food, food. JV's like Nirvana. Detroit's Pearl Jam. Woody is Nirvana. And then we got Big Buddy Knock. Alanis Morissette, dude. Alanis Morissette is actually a really great artist. Yeah. She has way more songs than the one bitch. So,
yeah, I liked her better when she was pissed off, though, before she went to Africa.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, her first couple albums were phenomenal when she was pissed off at the world.
But that question was only
She
Nirvana
was pissed off at what's his name she was married to.
Yeah, so Tone LV is like Pearl Jam all day.
Yeah, so. Pearl Jam was one of my first concerts, so I have to stick it strong right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the game of Would You Rather, would you rather have I like this question a lot. Would you rather have a real estate license or private detective license?
Real estate.
Clint? Private detective.
Yeah, I think private detective could be fun.
Like private eye? Oh, yeah.
You might have fun, but do you get paid as much? Or would
you probably get more. You probably get more than real estate.
Probably depends on your clients. Like if you're a PI, like a private detective for like big Hollywood stars or something.
Detroit's like private detective for sure. I'm a woman and I already have a private detective. Yeah, right. That's from JB.
Oh man, this is another one of those like kind of gross options, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it. Would you rather burp bubbles or fart green fumes?
Burp bubbles.
Burp bubbles.
Yeah. Burp bubbles. Yeah. That one was.
That was kind of dumb.
Yeah, that was dumb.
So JV's like burp.
Yeah, burping bubbles.
Thiz is like, that's tough on the last question. Detroit's like, I'm going to burp bubbles. Come on, guys. I know there's more people in the chat in there, but I mean, it is what it is. There's a lot of bots too.
No, a lot of you guys are saying, is there a lighter involved? maybe
that adds a whole different aspect to it, though. Really, So I mean, big buddy Knox like he's gonna burp, cool. burp. I think we're all on the burp. Yeah. Oh, Tone though. DJ Tone LV's like green fumes. Smell it, see it. But if you can smell it and see it, you're gonna taste it too. So I don't know if that's good.
But you can avoid it too if you see it, right?
Shook, sassy
advantage.
bubbles. So I don't know.
Would you burp up colored bubbles? That'd be cool. All right. Would you rather, and this one is obvious for me, but there's going to be someone that might be able to explain the opposition to this. Excuse me. Live right in the heart of a big city or out in the quiet countryside?
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Before we answer this question, right?
Okay.
We all work in the big city. We
Yeah.
all love it. But here's 3 dudes sitting in a room in the quiet countryside.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to go countryside myself.
If this would have been like 30 years ago, I would have said city.
Oh, hands down.
Countryside for me now at my age.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all old.
Yeah, there was. I grew up. I was always in small towns. Everything else, like big cities, always intimidated me, and I've never really thought the lifestyle of living within like 3 square blocks your entire existence, like you walk to work and you only go to these, and back to your apartment, sounds exciting to me.
But that's what the city of Portland is pushing us to because they're taking all our damn parking spots away.
That's
so
how most cities push
That's
it to,
insane.
and it's crazy to me. So country, suburbs, and things like that has always been my preference. So that was an easy question to me.
let's run down the chat here. Big Buddy Knox says currently big city, but I'd love to live in the countryside. Detroit's heart of the city. I know Detroit, the heart of the city. Detroit, go Detroit. Let's go Detroit. Anyway, much love, D.
He would like to see
Toad LV is like out in the country. Big Buddy Knock, I grew up in the country. JV is the city. So she's like, I still haven't made up my mind about that, but the city looks good to me. Tony LV is like, I'm a redneck dipped in chocolate. So my wife says, whoa now.
Rednecks dipped in chocolate.
Redneck dipped in chocolate. He does live in Vegas. So he's, I don't know. JV's, I'm a city girl, but I like getting away. Put your hands up for Detroit. See, I was damn near on the right. Yeah, anyway, carry on.
Yeah, I think rednecks dipped in chocolate. I think we should create an ice cream flavor like that. But
Doesn't Ben and Jerry has something like that? I mean,
probably.
Come on. They got what, 57, 58 flavors? I don't know. I forget.
It's impressive. So we got through the chat room on that one. What was the majority going for? We were kind of split, huh?
It was kind of
pretty
split, but I think
country.
a majority
Was that
of it was
21?
country. So,
All right. Cryptic's thumbing through them. Which one do you want me to go for, man? Give me one.
Oh, what the hell? It doesn't go back.
you have a back button.
You have a back button up top there, right?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
Oh. Well, how?
You have to keep
But
going.
they all changed, though. It
it
doesn't matter. Whatever.
All right.
Let's go. Hold on.
Here we go.
Who's a black redneck? Physicality? So is he a black redneck? Oh, Thiz is talking about Tone. No, he's not a black redneck, Thiz. I think that would classify as you. I'm guessing Thiz. I don't know.
I don't know what it means to be dipped
Hey,
in chocolate.
physicality. Well, since you're in the chat room, are you coming out with Linus in 2 weeks? You gonna pick a question, Cryptic, or what?
Yeah.
This one? All right. Okay.
We can change it.
Let's change it. Let's just go this one. Here, this one's cool. All right.
That's a good one, actually.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen.
Tony's like, he's a Mexican. So go ahead.
Oh, okay. That's where the chocolate came from.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather only eat French fries or tater tots?
French fries.
Tots. Yeah. Tots won that one on our discussion, but are you French fries or are you tots out there? Oh.
Man, JV's French fries. Big Buddy Knock is fries. Detroit's fries. Physicality's like, yeah, I'll be there in 2 weeks with Linus. Thank you, sir. I will see you then, dude. Much respect to you and what happened the last time we had here. Detroit's like McDonald's. What is McDonald's? McDonald's fries are really good. I'm not going to lie about it. McDonald's French fries are probably the best fast food French fry.
Well, what do they? They soak them in a bunch of stuff, right?
I don't know what they do to them. You'd have to ask somebody that. Now, Detroit's like Wendy's Frosties. And yes, Tony, animal style fries, dude. It's not my thing. I'm sorry. Animal style double.
Yeah, I tried that once. It wasn't,
Yes, really good.
Wasn't
Animal
into it.
style fries, not for me.
Keep that point. I need some water.
Knox like fries. So fries, hands down, I think is the winner here.
Yeah. I could see that, but I knew I'd be the odd man, but Cryptic's with me on it. So here we go. Would you rather inherit money or property?
Animal style double all the way, Detroit. If it's a thing of beauty, I've actually figured out that we're talking about food here.
Food's important. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Bring the food on. Bring it on.
Yeah,
Let's go.
so I've actually, if people want to know, I figured out the kind of the outings of an In-N-Out double on how they cook their patty and their onions, and I've actually made them here at the house, and it's still it's okay, you know. I think In-N-Out is severely overrated for what it is.
Super overrated. Did you read? So here's a local situation since we're speaking of In-N-Out. The next location is it Troutdale for sure. I also heard they were Beaverton. I heard that in the Oregon City chat room or whatever on stupid Facebook group. They said that was still being considered.
Troutdale's way too far out of the way. Most In-N-Outs are within 2 or 3 minutes of a major interstate highway. Just an FYI,
but
that's one of their requirements to have a franchise.
In the Oregonian, though, it was posted though that they did consider Oregon City, which I think would suck.
They actually did, but they couldn't find property within 205. So we're gonna go over here to Detroit's like property, JV's property, Physicality's property. Fat Burger is better. Fat Burger was good when it was around.
So the question was, would you
gentlemen,
rather...
I got a stool. I have to be up at 3:30. Peace. Thanks for joining us, Tone. Appreciate you. See you on the next chat.
That's what time I got to get up.
Man. So
the question we're hanging on here in the would you rather conversations, would you rather inherit money or property?
I'd rather inherit property.
I think property too. Only, I mean, it really depends on how much money, but
property is always worth more than money.
Anybody that has bought a house in downtown Portland back in the 70s for like $60,000.
God, they're sitting on a gold mine right now.
And it's worth 1.5 to 2 million. Hey.
Exactly. Doc's like money. Big buddy's knocks. I got to get my S11 to buy.
So he just needs someone to give him like $2,000 after dying.
Trust me, Big Buddy Knock knows enough people. He's going to get it at wholesale, just like any one of us sitting at the stable will. So I'm not going to go over exactly how much that is. Nobody needs to know.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go property. I think that's usually goes up. Can't do too many of those. I'm a simple man. I just need an S11 to be happy. What do you like about the S11 Knock over any of the other mixers that are out there right now? I had one here in the studio. I could get used to it for sure. The build quality is great. I do like how they went to metal pots over the plastic pots on the S9. They did improve the build quality, catch up with the 72. Just my opinion, Knock. Linda Burke is like, I'd rather inherit money than I could buy the property, whatever I choose. That's a good way to look at it. You know, because if you get in lots of money, you can it's a tough call for me anyway.
Yeah, if it's enough money to purchase property, then it's kind of sixes, I guess you could say. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think we got time for one more. Would you rather?
Knox, like I like it because it's shiny. He's talking about the S11. It is super sexy, shiny.
It's glossy. Yeah.
But if you get one, Knock, tear the thing apart and clean the faders because they are so gumped up with fucking shitty ass goob and oil. Just a FYI, Knock. Honestly, the screen, the 2 and 4 virtual decks, aka 4 channels, a true 4-channel mixer is kind of cool. That is true. So, carry on, Nate.
This one doesn't. This seems. I don't know. I'm gonna try to do this one. Would you rather go on tour as a roadie for your favorite band, or be a key part of an entourage for a band whose music you don't like?
That's a dumbass fucking question.
That is a dumb question.
That's a dumb question. Skip.
Sorry, that one sucked. Would you rather know?
That's a good question.
Would you rather sit or play Dixon or do a bad body? Would you rather get this one?
You're reading the question out loud. You understand that, right? I mean,
yeah, really quick. I'm whispering so they know that I'm looking through this. I'm not even. Okay, here we go. Would you rather walk around bare feet with no shoes for a year, or wear clown makeup every day for a year?
Clown makeup every day for a year, dude. I cannot walk across the gravel within my bare feet.
I'm with you. Clown makeup. You?
Yeah, I like scaring kids.
Yeah. And you could change it. You know, like some days you could be a scary clown. Other days you could be a smiling clown. You could be like an evil clown, a bright hat.
Yeah.
Like, there's options with that one. With your shoes off, you're just going to build up weird calluses.
Knox like clown, Detroit's clown. You'd be like a badass clown, kind of like a Brandon Lee and the Crow.
Yeah.
See, there's so much you can do with clown makeup. You don't have to wear the same stupid clown costume every day. You can change it up every day to day. So there you go. See, clown. JV's like a clown. Clown, I think, is the ultimate winner there.
Yeah, absolutely. That. I thought there'd be a little bit more debate on that, but all right.
I think a lot of people have more sensitive feet as the older we get.
And I think we all wore shoes growing up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
so
people get more and more protective of their children and make them wear shoes all the time instead of just like walking around in needles.
Dude, I can't keep Piper's shoes on her.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. We are approaching that 9 o'clock. So good.
Yeah. Thanks again for tuning in with us. This is our 4th podcast. It will be up on.
And that was the end of Would You Rather. Sorry, I didn't get an outro in there. My bad.
Sorry, you lost. Sorry. Once again, this will be up on Spotify probably the next day or two. It will be up on Apple Podcast. It will be on YouTube. It will continue to be on YouTube. It's a live show. Big buddy Knock, thanks for tuning in. Awesome shows. Thanks for the good times as well. Appreciate you, buddy. Your shows are different and unique as well as, see, that's the cool thing about what's going on right now. Every DJ doing this, their shows are different in every way possible. Like our show, we podcast once a month. If somebody wants to start doing these podcasts more, well, I'm down to do it. It doesn't bother me. We DJ the other 3 nights a week. Big buddy Knock is like,
Jeff.
Look at your adorable faces.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Nothing but love, Jeffrey. So this is a platform for everybody to do their own thing, and that's what's great. I tune into a lot of different shows under the Hit Squad account. You already Jeff, you podcast like 5 days a fucking week. Yeah, you're doing a lot, dude. Yeah. I get it. But anyway, so this gives a platform to tune into different shows, and people like it. Knock show's phenomenal. Jason Goley's show's phenomenal. Rob Alon on Sundays. If you guys are a house head, check out Rob Alon on Sundays, 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday night. He'll take you on a musical journey. It's phenomenal. Josh Carl does a great show. Kova does a great show. Boston Terry. I mean, the list goes on that I tune in every once in a while and check out, and they're all dope shows. It gives you a platform to get your individuality out there and see what people are doing. I tune in the best I can to support those guys. Because we're asking for the same thing on our channels, to support us through these shitty times, for sure.
Yeah. So the big key to us doing this once a month was, the origination of this, not just to get into the podcasting world, but so we could also not get cut off from every platform by playing music. But
correct. So
the one platform you can check us out, still working on our chops and spinning and DJing and doing those things and funky graphics and cool designs, and it's a lot of fun. Twitch.tv/HitSquadDJs every Tuesday night starting at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Again, www.twitch.tv/HitSquadDJs. Get on there, follow it, get the notifications, join up with us on a Tuesday. We can still interact there too. It's actually more interactive than this.
It is, but
a lot
of
stuff going on.
But doing this gives it a platform where it can get on Spotify, it can get on Apple Podcast, it can get on all the streaming platforms and stay there. It's not going to get cut off. This is our way to stay in people's faces at all times. Our numbers on our podcast are actually pretty fairly well for only doing it a couple times. I'm really impressed with what we're doing here, for sure. Once again, big shout out to Jason Goley, Rob Alon, One Stop DJ Shop for always sponsoring us on our shows. If you guys need some DJ merch, grab it from them. Big shout out to Kevin Shoop, AGI Pro DJ, and Ty. Great guys as well. I know Alpha Systems can't do what they do without those guys in my corner. Great guys for sure.
Jeff, thanks for putting the link.
Yes, Jeffrey, thanks for that.
We appreciate it. Again, the only reason I say join us on Tuesday.
Peace, guys. I'm out.
is so that we can keep building on our Tuesday nights period. And so click that link. If you're on the Facebook, it's in the chat room right now. Get yourself subscribed. Download the app. It's free. Twitch is free. It's on all your demand units, on your smart TVs. It's not the hardest thing. People complain a little bit when they're like, I've never heard of it. I don't know what to do. And I get it. It came from gamers. And if you're not a mega gamer, like I'm not, and I mean Twitch is, or Jeff was, he understood it. He knew where it came from. But it was all new to us. And I'm proud of what we built, and you should check it out. And we built it for you and built it for all the DJs in our community and all the people that are willing to view and help us do what we love still. So check out that link. Twitch.tv/Hit Squad DJs. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to our once a month podcast.
Thank you.
Cryptic to my right, Clint setting up in the booth, about to hit the switch and kill us for the evening. How we doing out there, Clint? We getting there?